Welcome, Isaac. How are you, sir?
Howdy, howdy. How's it going, Ryan?
You're looking a lot less bearded than I am today.
Yeah, a little more fresh. It is spring. First day of spring
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
it's good. It's a
So
good time to shed a little bit of the beard face for me.
that's nice. I don't. I think the last time I had to shave my face for a job, and that was 14 years ago.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yep, that's the last time because I look like a giant toddler underneath this
What
beard.
happens to Isaac's face? Wow. Here we
So,
go. We're
oh,
starting.
geez,
Oh boy.
everybody, this is about board games. We are professionals,
Yeah,
kind of.
we
So.
beards in the minority tonight, actually.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
speaking of professionals, we have a guest with us today. Danny Standring, how are you doing?
I'm good. I feel like I should have had a beard for this to sway in the other direction.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kind of
I
disappointed that
do
I
feel. I feel
dealt with my
alone.
mustache before I came on.
Yeah, I should have
It's a
kept
bad
just the
night to shave.
mustache.
Then we
So,
would
Just
have been in the
the
majority.
Yes, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah, sorry, Ryan.
So my dad one time I only knew him with a mustache from my childhood, and then I was probably 12 years old, and we're at a vacation place with my mom and my brother, and my dad comes out of the bathroom and he goes, "Which one do you like better?" And he's got the mustache, and then he does this, and the other one's shaved, and my mom goes, "What happened?" Because he hadn't shaved in like 15 years at that point or something like that.
That's
only
my
one.
husband.
Oh,
He'll like shave like once a year
mhm.
for Halloween, but when our oldest was younger, he hadn't shaved in forever. And he
Yeah.
came out and she just like she must have been 5 at the time, was like, "What happened to your face?" And just like very blatantly was like disgusted with whatever was going on. So now it's like,
Your
oh, once a
face is
year.
gross now.
He's like,
What
"Gosh,
happened?
put it back, put it back." But now it's
Honest,
a
honest
Halloween thing,
children.
once a
That's
year.
so good. That's so good. So, Stuart said you could have pulled off the beard, Danny.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about dyeing it purple too, just let it
So,
grow in.
Ooh,
there we go.
be competing
There
with
we go.
Bob's green one.
That's true. That's true. So,
Yikes.
Danny, welcome to the show. We're super glad to have you, and we're going to be talking about dice games tonight
Beards.
on the
Oh,
show.
okay.
Beards, and dice games.
Well,
So,
thanks for having me. I'm
um,
excited.
yeah. So we're going to be talking about dice games. We're going to get to our top six. I wrote down my top five, and then Isaac was like, "No, because of dice. I mean, it's a D6, you know." So I had to add one to the list. But if you have your top six dice games, if you're in the chat or watching either on YouTube
Post
or
them
Facebook or
down.
wherever, be sure to get ready and post them in the chat, and we'll
Yeah.
post them up when we get to them. So anyway. Isaac, you got a first question?
I do. For some people that follow Danny, and based on Stuart's comment there, they just made, he definitely does. We thought, let's talk about TikTok genres, right? Things that you follow, things that you like, things that are maybe a little out of the norm of board gaming. So, like, what comes up on your follow feed that we'd be surprised to know?
Oh boy. So I really thought long and hard about this because most of my feed is not board games, like at all. A lot of cooking, a lot of baking. I love to cook and
Okay,
bake. A lot
nice.
of like outdoorsy stuff. So a lot of like outdoorsy sports like hiking. But the one thing that always comes up, and the only reason this is on my feed is because I like to jokingly indulge with it, but it has now become something I look forward to seeing all the time, is ASMR stuff. And not ASMR in
Mm,
like a very pleasant way. It's like ASMR in a very aggressive, like people like breathing heavy into microphones, and like there's whipped cream and brushes and clicking. And it started off as like a joke, and I'd like scroll TikTok in bed, and I'd roll over and show my husband, and he would like just sit there like mesmerized by like people doing this. And just my For You page, that's it. That is all it is now. It's just people like
okay.
with nails clicking, and it is the most bizarre thing. And I love it, and I hate it, and I don't know how to make it go away because I can't stop watching it.
Oh my
It's just like a
gosh.
never-ending cycle of like crappy For You page stuff coming up.
That's funny.
Can I
Well, I
tell you
will tell
that when
you.
Stuart and I would record our podcast, we used to do very weekly, I would make as many crunching, loud noises in the mic before we started, and or when when I was muted from the recording, but not from his ears. And I know it drove
Nice.
him insane.
Oh,
So
they're
Well,
yeah,
so
he
much
he would not
clicking.
like that.
So Rick used to eat a burrito or eat chips right before we would record. And I'm like, are you going to do this on the show? I don't know. Maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
So Danny, I actually showed your board game ASMR stuff. You did a series of 3 board game ASMR ones. And my wife almost threw me across the room. I mean, it would have been nice for the phone to go across the room, but she almost picked me up and threw me across the room because I put it right up near her face, and she was not a fan of it.
Those
She
videos
liked you,
did
but not
did
those
not
videos.
hit at all. Like
Okay,
I thought
okay.
they were hilarious, and
thought they
I
were
was
great.
like dying laughing. But I realized how like there's like certain people that make it on that side of the internet, and there was just more people confused about what was happening rather than embracing it and just like, what is like, are you okay today, Danielle? Like, do we need to have a talk? And
When
just
you
me like,
dropped the dice onto the metal, and it was so loud, I loved it so much.
it
So,
was not purposeful. I was enjoying it, and I was like, I'm just gonna roll with this one. It's gonna be so loud and dramatic. It was for effect.
it's good.
That's
It was
awesome.
very good. So, Andrew says, I would pay money to see Erin physically throw you. She could do it too. If I had an ASMR right up against her face, she would throw me. So she is not a fan at all. So in my Instagram feed, you will find watercolor paintings. I've done watercolor paintings off and on over the years. I really enjoy it when I take time to do it. But I have little to no talent in that area, and I'm amazed by people who can do it on a level that makes it look realistic. It's wild to me. So yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few things. I started getting into TikTok at Origins this year and just started
Mhm.
making videos. In fact, I think Aaron's in the one like that went crazy viral playing Hamster Roll. And it
Nice.
just still boggles my mind the stuff that people actually watch
Yeah.
on there, right? That
Yeah.
they actually goes like the hamster roll wheel one hit like 160,000 and nothing else has
Mm.
ever come that close. And I'm like, what?
That's great.
How did this happen, right? But
Yeah.
so I think what happens is you find like a random video and you like it, right? And then it floods your feed.
Mhm.
For myself, Derek and Bob, we're all sports card junkies. So I like to watch breaks and people opening packs and
Oh.
sports card stuff on there crazy. But it also then like evolves into other cards, like weird cards, like garbage pail stuff and 90s cards. And,
Mhm.
but the one that for, I don't know how I got on this trend. I don't have a tattoo. I'm not opposed to tattoos. I don't have them, but I got on like classic Pokemon tattoos. Like people
That's so
are
cool.
just doing the original 151. Specifically, it's a gumball challenge,
Mhm.
which there's tons of these. There's a gumball machine with one random Pokemon in it. You
Mm.
spin the thing and you have to get that Pokemon. So I find it hilarious when people pull horrible Pokemon that they have to get tattooed. So
You don't want a Geodude on your
oh
forearm for the
man,
rest
it's
of your
just
life?
it's one of those weird
That's
like
funny.
tunnels, and you're like, how did I end up over here looking at this? But yeah, I'm entertained.
Speaking of gumball challenges with tattoos, my brother on Friday the 13th, there's a local tattoo artist who's really good in our area, and he does a $13 tattoo. You have to do a gumball, and whatever you get, you get.
Full commit.
My brother got a baby that has angel wings and a mermaid bottom.
That
It
sounds
is
terrible.
Where
It
in his
is
body?
terrifying. It's on his forearm. No, it's
Oh.
on his bicep. It is
That's a very
terrifying.
presentable area.
It is. So it is it's wild. Like it, I think he calls it Earl. So
Wow.
Earl, he named it.
Earl. Yeah, Earl, the baby angel mermaid.
I mean, you got to lean into it at that point. If you're getting that kind of
You
tattoo,
really
you
do.
just got to
Yeah.
full send it.
Rick
Absolutely.
continues to be my least favorite member of your team. Ryan, just so you know.
Ours too. So
I don't.
um,
Is he
only
related to one of you guys?
reading
Is that why you have to
actions
keep him?
because it's a work release program situation.
That's fair.
You know, so yeah, it's part of his probation. So what you gonna do?
All right. Well, let's actually
Anyway.
talk dice games. How about we talk some dice
Yeah.
games?
So,
we're
Growing up, roll and move games were super big. Okay, that's
Oh, yeah.
I feel like in the 80s, it was like if it wasn't a roll and move game, it didn't get bought. So what are your favorite roll and move games from your childhood?
So I was going to say like TikTok is like the ultimate dice rolling game that everyone should play. Like when you're saying the algorithm, like that is like the ultimate dice
That's
rolling
true.
game.
That's
Yep.
true.
But as far as favorite from a kid, I think it might be Trouble. Would that still count? Because it's like a pop
Oh, yeah.
move, but
Absolutely.
it's rolling.
That's my answer also. Trouble.
Played a ton of Trouble, and I feel like I should probably get that game again. Like we had it for my oldest,
Mhm.
but we don't have it anymore. But I think that might need to come back into the cycle in this house. I loved Trouble so much.
Trouble is so good. I bought my kids just to relive those childhood memories of my own. I bought my kids the what is it? The R2D2 Trouble. And so every time you
Ooh,
popped
yeah.
it, it would do the R2D2 noise, and there was a little R2 unit inside there. If he
What was the dice?
landed straight up, you got an extra roll or something, or there was some rule where if he was standing up, you got something extra to your movement. So
Oh, that sounds great. I think
Yeah,
that
it's
was
pretty
like
cool.
the realization when I was younger that I liked the savagery of games where you can like
Mhm.
bump someone out with a 1 or a 6 and you're like, you're going back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that game sits well
We
with
got
me.
Bermuda in the comments. We got Bermuda Triangle. We got Parcheesi. Andrew is agreeing with Bob with Parcheesi. So yeah,
I don't think I've ever played that.
I know everybody like, I know everybody likes to crap on it, but I mean, I played a ton of Monopoly as a
Yeah.
kid. The family gatherings with my sister. Like, I mean, if Monopoly's played correctly, it's not a 7-hour game of hating your
No.
family, right? And Monopoly, what's the Mario one? Actually, isn't bad. It's actually a fun game. The Super Mario one.
It actually is good. I've heard that from a lot of people, and I have no qualms really with Monopoly. It's neither here nor there. It's a game. But I have heard from a lot of people that the Monopoly version is really good.
Yeah,
I
that
like
one's
it.
actually pretty good. We own that one version. So
Yeah,
and then
that's
we
my
have
one that I have. I
a
think.
couple super classic versions of Monopoly. Rick says no Yahtzee. Who are you people? That's
I
true.
do like Yahtzee. I can't.
yeah.
I do like Yahtzee, but that wasn't the
Monopoly
first one that
gamer,
came to
that's right.
mind, so I couldn't choose it. Trouble was the first one that came to mind.
Yep. Trouble was my first one. So yep. So what was it? Oh, when the pandemic hit 2 years ago around this time, we actually played Yahtzee with some family friends of ours over the internet. That was like the first. We weren't doing digital board games very often. I didn't have a subscription to BGA, so we were just like, we have Zoom and we have dice. So let's play
Good
this.
luck, have fun.
So,
Yep. Let's
Yeah.
make this work.
so
Awesome.
cool. So Bob says so many
True.
games borrow from the Yahtzee mechanic. Yep.
We may be talking about some of them.
We will. So what's next, Isaac?
On a scale of D1 to D10, D1 being bad, D10 being amazing, how much do you like dice in your games? Because some people love to complain, I don't like the dice rolls. Some people love dice. Like, how much do you love dice in your games? D1 to
So
D10.
this is a dynamic answer.
Okay,
This, if you
I'm
had
ready
asked me
for
this
it.
question 2 years ago, it would have been like 2.
Ooh.
But now, probably like a 7 or an 8. I feel like I've grown up in my board gaming life, and I realized that a little bit of RNG is not the worst thing. Strategize too hard, and your brain's gonna hurt. Like I like the excitement of the dice rolls now. So definitely a solid 7 or 8. I wouldn't go as far as 10. I like having a little bit of strategy in the mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say an 8, a solid 8.
Okay.
And it has definitely been a progression of dice. I was never a big fan of them early on, but here I am. I'm all grown up. I'm mature now.
There we go. I would say D7 for me. I think I struggle with games that don't have a way to mitigate dice rolls. There was a game that I was playing a couple weeks ago, and I just remember sitting there saying, "There's no way to change a die roll," and this was made last year. Like, why? Like, how does this still happen? Like, how I can't get a reroll, I can't get a +1, I can't get a flip to the other side. Like, what's wrong with this game? So,
Anything. I'll take anything at this point. I don't want to be stuck with just one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'll
Dice
say
hate Stewart.
D7.
I've seen that consistently.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm in that D8 range. I remember listening to Jeff Engelstein on Dice Tower talk once about that the more dice rolls you have in a game, the more likely that the randomness is less. So if you only have a few dice rolls, the randomness is actually higher than if you had a lot of dice rolls. And so you think like, if I got to roll dice a bunch of times, it's going to be more random, but it actually helps even things out. But yeah, I do want some type of mitigation, right, in that role. But yeah, there's still plenty of like, I'm just shooting for the moon, hoping for the best, right, and see what happens. And sometimes it works out, and we're gonna talk about sometimes when it didn't. Coming up here, Jason's he knows what my story is gonna be about. What didn't work out. So, that's
Glenn
fun.
says D10. He's all in for dice.
Oh wow!
I
All
respect
right, Glenn.
the play. I respect the love of it.
Yeah.
I can't go all in on 10 though.
Becky's coming in with a 7.5. It's a
solid
die,
solid,
and then
Becky.
like a little chunk of another die made its way onto the table.
It just broke off in the rolling
just
process.
Broke off, whatever. So yeah,
it happens. Things happen.
Yeah. Richard says I always get screwed in Catan with the die roll. Yes,
the one time I like to play Catan is at Origins with the giant Catan, just because they have the giant foam dice that you can throw all over the room. Like that's just a blast.
We live streamed Giant King of Tokyo, our second
that's
Origins,
so much fun.
I think.
Oh, I love King of Tokyo.
So good. So, oh man. Anyway, so what's the next question?
So speaking of these dice rolling stories, what is your most epic dice rolling story, right? So tale of amazement or tale of horror, right? So something went really well or something went like, ooh, oh, that was bad.
I'm so middle of the road with dice games and like epic tales that have happened to me. I feel like I don't have anything exciting or like worth noting. Like there's definitely some King of Tokyo nights where like you went all in with swinging and you ended up being the god. You're like, I am the best ever. The dice were my favorite, but for the most part, like I feel like the games we play with dice always end up having some sort of like mitigation or a way to like get around it. But we do have a friend, and I'm going to tell the story wrong. My husband and him, they play Dice Throne on nights where I'm off doing my own thing or just not in the mood for games, because that sometimes happens where I just want to sit down and watch TV. So they'll go off and play Dice Throne. That's totally their jam. And all of a sudden I hear like yelling from the other room. And apparently on the first roll of the game, we hit 5 6s and just like minds were blown, and the stories are still being heralded to this day.
There we go.
But I think that might be the most
making a quilt,
Yeah, so. I wasn't there for it. I was just a mere passerby of it. But I was talking about this and getting ready for the show, and then I hear my husband in the living room just go, "Oh, I've got a story for you." And I'm like, "All right, give it to me. Give it to me." But I'm a pretty boring dice rolling person. I'm so just like, cool, that's my dice roll. I'm with it.
There you go. Yeah. That's fair. My dice rolling story has nothing to do with me, but we taught some friends of ours. We had another couple over. I think we were playing with another couple, and maybe one of the kids jumped in. It's like a 5-person game. And we're playing, and my friend's wife she was afraid of jumping in the city, and she was losing health on the outside of the city. She was afraid to jump in. She was like, I don't know. So we're sitting there playing King of Tokyo, and she's rolling dice. She jumps into Tokyo, and her first roll in Tokyo is just straight claws.
Oh, just hitting everyone.
Hit every one of them. And we sit there, we're all looking at the dice, and we're just staring at them. We're like, I think 2 of us are dead now. Like,
what do you want me to do with this?
What happened? And she looked, she goes, that's good, right? That's good, right? And we're like,
I needed to do that, right?
Yeah, that's phenomenal. How did you do that? And it was just, the whole table was just like cracking up that she was so scared of going in the city, but when she did, she just murdered everybody. Yeah.
She just flicks the characters, but like, bye, out of here.
Bam! It's like, no.
Wow.
Take his sword.
Well,
so what you
Stuart's
got,
already
so,
like.
I'm ready to hear this.
I know all the comments. I'm not putting any of these comments on there because I don't want Isaac's story to be like, I feel like maybe we should all sit down, dim the lights a little. Should I make your screen bigger?
Let me tell you a tale.
Okay,
no,
Danny, I'm gonna make him larger on the screen. I'm just gonna make us
you don't have
really
to do that.
small. No, I think it's worth it. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say you can see the logo, but it disappeared now. The Game of Sidekicks logo that is part of our. I got it here. Our amazing wood cutout
There we
things
go.
that
Yep.
that were made by Angelica. It made these, and
Yeah.
they're amazing. But our logo has a die in the middle, right? Sidekick die from Gaming with Sidekicks as part of the game Dice Masters, and we used to play quite a bit of that. Played very competitively. There is a YouTube video if you were to look it up. There is a card. Most of the time with Dice Masters, you get a roll, you get a re-roll, you set things, you move on. But there's one card that lets you pay an energy to re-roll your dice again. And we had an engine going for a specific like win in 4 turns thing. And if you got the perfect rolls, you won. And you got a few energy like to spare. And that card was Parallax. It's a villain in the DC universe. And I rolled Parallax over and over to the point the guy doing the commentary is like, he's gonna do it again. He's going again.
That's awesome.
Does he know that he doesn't have to? He may have the win here. And I just kept going because I was looking for one thing, and I eventually got it. But and I won. But it was this energy suck. You could just see the guy in front of me going, okay, he's gonna give this up. He's not paying attention. He's won it already. And rolled hard into that Parallax. But the commentary is one of the best parts because the guy's just going like, is he serious now? Is he really still doing the same thing? So it was I love Dice Masters. It didn't make my top 6. I don't play it really anymore. I mean, we played it ad nauseum competitively, but man, those dice, like, it's a competitive game, but it still has dice, right? So like and it's a bag builder dice game. So 1, you've got to get the right die, and 2, you have to roll it, right? So like the combination is like, it's so hard to get. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, they were yelling at me from Texas down there.
That's funny. That's cool. Yeah. So what do we got here? Zach Connolly also missed the Punchboard logo. RIP Punchboard Media.
There you go.
So
I like it. We're rocking some good logos tonight.
Yeah. Yep. So all right. So what is the next question? I don't know.
We're gonna go through our D6 list. I got like tons of dice sitting over here.
Well, before we go through our D6 list, do you want to talk about Danny's TikTok and all the things? Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So, Danny, you make some really cool videos. So, anybody who's following you on Twitter usually sees a couple treats during the course of the week. It's hilarious, a lot of your stuff. So, tell us about how you kind of got into doing these videos and kind of incorporated board games into all of your social media.
Yeah. So, this happened, I think, with a lot of people right at the beginning of the lovely pandemic that we're still living in. I was home with the kids, and a lot of my early videos, super cringe, they've been removed, were of my kids. And I was like, man, this is really not for me. I was like on mom TikTok, which is now great. Now that I talk about a lot of kids games. But I was like, I wanted to contribute, but also at the same time, like, kids were not it for me. Then I like made a video one day jokingly about Gloomhaven. Like, just out of the blue, we were playing at the time, and a lot of people started commenting on it and like wanting to hear more about what I had to say. And I was like, why? Sure, let's do it again. And it just kind of went from there. I just started talking about games I enjoyed playing. I did a series. We were trying to play a new game every day for as long as we could, just so like couldn't do anything else. So I was kind of vlogging that journey. I think we made it like 50 days. And people were there for it. So I had a couple of folks reach out to me like, hey, I have a game coming out. Would you talk about it on your channel? Sure, why not? Actually, Leader Games was one of the first people to reach out to me, which was fantastic. Nice. But from there, it just kind of all downhill, uphill, around a hill. There was a hill somewhere to climb. Yeah. I'm still on that hiking journey. But yeah, that's kind of how it all started. And I last summer did another thing where we played, consecutively how many days we could play board games for. Everything from overviews to making crass jokes about board games to putting meeples on faces. I mean, yeah, faces on meeples.
Faces on
meeples. Do it all. And I love doing it. It's a ton of fun.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you hit some of the conventions here within the last year. Was that your first experience with like the gaming convention world?
No. So I was very heavily into video games before board games. We were big into World of Warcraft, like from forever
Nice.
ago, and we were doing PAX East quite a bit. And that was actually the transitional time for us. We were at PAX East, and someone handed us a pack of Magic cards and was like, "Hey, do you want to learn?" And I was like, "No, that's for nerds."
You big
And we
nerds.
played, and that was kind of it from there. It was, again, there was another hill. It was probably downhill, uphill, around a hill. But yeah, we made the transition. We still play a lot of video games, but it's obviously primarily board games now.
Yeah.
But we've been going to conventions, I feel like, forever. And I'm very happy that they're back because we love going. It's kind of our yearly vacation that we go on, time to get away. We actually get to sit down and play games together, no kids. It's nice.
Very
Awesome.
cool. That's awesome.
Awesome. Got a couple people dropping in.
Yeah.
Mr.
Derek
Funkhauser.
Funkhauser. Yes.
Hi,
And
Derek.
then Michael Petrie. What's up?
Michael, what's up, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your
Just for
so
nerds.
Magic is for nerds.
said nerd got very, very deep into it there for a while.
so you work with a company specifically too, don't you?
Yep. So I work with Portal Games. I do a lot of their US big marketing stuff, just posting TikToks and on their Twitter. And I actually do the same for GameRight as well. I'd make content for
Nice.
their TikTok, which has been a ton of fun. And it's also great because they're family games and I get to play games with the family
yeah.
and talk about it. So it's been a cool experience because it has, you know, allowed me to start playing games I normally wouldn't pick up off the shelf. Not that I was like a board game snob before, but I definitely had a type of game I like to play and usually stuck to it. And over the past 2-3 years, just based off people's recommendations and, you know, people sending me games, it has allowed me to try new games and realize, you know, there's a bigger world out there than like heavy Euros. And, you know, you can try different things and you're probably going to like other things too.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've loved
That's
the
awesome.
trend in the last, I mean, I'd say in the last year, but it feels like even more recent, of companies aligning themselves with TikTok personalities, with Twitter, with like saying like, hey, this person's doing some cool stuff. We'd like to align with them. And you're seeing a lot of that. And I love that companies are identifying that, right? And seeing like, hey, we're out here buying your games. We're also really enjoying this content. Why don't we find a way to make those work together?
Well, it's a very diverse platform. And like I said at the beginning of the show, it is a dice roll who sees, like, you have your followers, you have your community, and they're there, they see your stuff. But a lot of people who don't follow you also see your stuff. And my whole shtick is you know, just because a game isn't for me, that doesn't mean it isn't for someone else. And to be able to recognize that, you know, you have a good game and I want to tell people about it. Like, I want to help people find their game. And that's pretty much it. And I think a lot of publishers are also starting to realize that like TikTok's just kind of, you know, I call it the Wild West. There's, you know, there's definitely some goods and there's definitely some bads about it, but everyone's on there. And I feel like my community of people is everything from like stay-at-home moms to like the heaviest of board gamers. And I hope I provide, you know, content to keep them all like engaged and keep coming back. And it's, like I said, it's been a good time.
That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah.
That's fun.
So
It's
we've
fun
got
stuff.
we've got your handle down there in the bottom of the screen. Follow her on TikTok and Twitter. That way. Oh crap! I pointed the wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. So
It's okay.
we've
I
only
pointed the
done
wrong way
like
too.
20. Geez, we all did it. We've
Totally
only done
fine.
this like 27 times, so no big deal.
It's fair.
So,
You know.
anyway, so let's jump into our top six dice games. We're actually going to start off with Andrew Smith. He's got to get the kids to bed, but he threw his list in there and he formatted it so that it took over Danny's entire face.
It's
So
okay.
somehow,
Nice job,
okay.
Andrew.
nice, Andrew. So going from the bottom, 6 Dice Forge. Totally forgot about that one on my list.
Yep.
Steampunk Rally, Dice Throne, Sagrada, Fleet the Dice Game / Three Sisters, and Role Player. Totally forgot about Role Player.
We
That's
might
a
see
lucky
some of
list.
those come up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to revise my list now. So no, I'm just playing. I'm leaving it as is. Okay, so start with number 6. Danny, what is your number 6 dice?
My number 6 is Dice Miner. Dice Miner.
Solid.
And I feel like
Good
I need
one.
to play it more because we played it a ton last year. But every time we get it to the table, so there's dice, it's in a little mountain. I feel like that's, as I describe it, it's like my type of party game. Like there's enough like randomization. There's so much fun. But we went on like a hot streak with that. It was like a solid like 2 months where it was like that was all we were playing, and then we put it down. But it's now it needs to come back into rotation. So that would be my number 6.
Lots of fans of Dice Miner. I love it. I got
It's
to
so
play it a
good.
few weeks ago and really enjoyed it.
You may see it show up on somebody's list.
That's
Just
true. That's
I'm
true.
looking at you. Apparently, you see it on your list.
Which way are we going?
My number 6 is Coimbra. That is, I've only played it twice, but I really, really enjoyed it.
That's high regards.
It's this dice drafting game, and just the pieces, the components, and the colors of the dice and the board and everything. It's just really, really interesting mechanics. And you've got these little like castle like tower keeps that you put your dice in. I really love it. So Coimbra, I've only played it twice, but it made such an impact that I would definitely sit down and play that game again. It's a chunky dice rolling, dice drafting game. Definitely haven't heard about it in a while, but definitely one that I'll play many times over.
Normally we like to show our games.
Yeah,
and
there's
my
a
number
couple that I
6
don't
is
have.
I've only played on BGA, so I'm gonna mention it by name. And Bob introduced it to me. I love it. I'm gonna get a copy. I want the deluxe everything Kickstarter copy with the little ambulances, and that's Dice Hospital. I thoroughly enjoyed it on BGA. I can't wait to get it with the dice and rolling it and playing it. Him and I played a few games of it. We played some bigger group games of it. It's great. It's a ton of fun. So high on my list, number 6.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good pick. So
Yep,
Stuart
Stuart's out.
says, "Kiddos, bedtime. Can't wait to watch the rest tonight. You're the best, Danny." So
Oh,
big
thanks.
fan.
Have a great
in the
night.
comments.
Good luck with the
So,
kids. I just did the same thing.
yeah,
He's got 2 around your little one's age, so he's wrangling cats to bed, I'm sure.
It's the best way to put it.
there you go.
Feral
So
cats at that.
number 5. What you got for number 5, Danny?
Are we showing boxes? Because mine's
If
right
you've
here.
got
If
it,
you have
if you've
them,
got
yeah.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
This one's right here. Let me hear all of the dice just fall out.
Richard
Yeah,
says,
those
"Tiny Epic Pirates and Dungeons has a lot of dice rolling." That's true. Yeah, it's a
I
good
just
one.
played Tiny Epic Pirates. It was a ton
Yeah,
of
you
fun.
posted about that. Yeah.
It was fantastic. Champions, this is super dusty. Oh my god. Can you see this coming
I
out?
just saw a layer of dust.
I wouldn't have seen it if you hadn't wiped
Oh
it.
my goodness.
But I
That
wanted
was
to
so
give it a
good.
nice caress, and then I just felt like the coarse texture of the
Ugh.
dust. That's so gross. I'm gonna put it back down now.
It
Champions
immediately
and
gets
Midgard.
brighter.
Oh, this looks great. Everything from the theme to like the dice placement, and even the last time we played it with the expansions too, which added like a whole nother layer with the Valhalla expansion. It's that good blend of, randomness with the strategy. It's like, so I think that's a big thing with me in dice games. Like I really like the strategy aspect of it. And this has the nice blend of the two. So we'll put it back up for the dusty friends.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I have not played that, but it's been on my list forever. So I need to
Get
make
to
that
it. Roll
happen.
those,
So
roll those Viking dice.
there you go. We've got another. Christopher puts his whole list in here: Railroad Inc. Challenge,
I forgot
Sagrada,
about
Tidal Blades, Dinosaur Island, Roar and Write, Rolling Realms, and Dice Throne.
I can't believe I forgot Tidal Blades.
Ah, man.
I still haven't played it. I need to play it.
I haven't
Solid.
played it.
Super solid. Tidal Blades 2 coming tomorrow.
Yeah, Tidal Blades 2 showing up on Kickstarter tomorrow. Launches
Yep.
at 7 Pacific, 10
Something like
Eastern. So
I just know tomorrow.
yeah. So my number 5, Three Sisters. I am a backyard
Solid.
gardener, a community gardener. I love this game. I love the theme. I love the dice rolling. I love the rondelle actions. I love the depth of the game. And it makes me angry when I don't win. So we have to play it again and again and again. But Three Sisters is excellent. This is Motor City GameWorks and 25th Century Games Publishing. If you are looking for a chunky roll and write, this one's good. So definitely one you need to check
Awesome. I love it. It's such a good game.
out. It is.
That was
It's
actually
so
my
good.
first roll and write that I've ever played.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah.
That is
So we
awesome.
haven't played any like roll and writes or flip and writes or anything like that before. And when they sent me that game, I was like, sure, I'll play it. And I didn't realize that was like a heavy roll and write. I'm like, I can really get into this. This is a good time. My husband likes to say it's like playing, doing your taxes with your friends when you're just checking off boxes and getting things inputted. But I thoroughly had a good time playing that game.
And don't put Hadrian's Wall in front of them. Like
Oh,
that's
geez.
the
Hadrian's Wall.
light version of Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall made me feel like I was doing taxes.
That's on our list of games to play.
Oh, that's heavy.
It's so good, but you have to sit there and learn. Like Bob's teach is very succinct, but it's like 35 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a long
It's like,
teach.
you guys almost ready to go? 35 minutes in. So
it's an investment.
Oh yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
It is
for sure.
So what's your number 5, Isaac?
Number 5 for me was one that was a Kickstarter. I think Stuart had introduced it to me, and then for the second Kickstarter, I was all in for everything, and that's Fantastic Factories.
I totally forgot about that game.
This game
Such a good
has
game.
the dice mitigation, right? It does the thing you're talking about. Roll the dice. I don't like it. I can make it work. I love everything about this game. I love the art style, even though it's simple. I loved it so much that I asked my son, teenage son, with his 3D printer to print me up. I don't know if these will show up. We have a little lightning bolt.
Nice.
Oh, I love those.
3D printed lightning bolts and coal. So a little ASMR
That's cool.
lightning bolt action. But yeah, we pimped ours out, got the playmat, got all the expansions. Like, this is such a easy game to teach, right? And most people that play it find that they are like all in right as soon as they start learning it. So that's my
We taught it
number
to
5.
some friends. We taught it to some friends that are moving to the Philippines. Actually today they were supposed to leave. I got to find out if they left. As soon as they left our house, they ordered it. They were like, "Yeah, we need to own this game." So it's one
That's
of
amazing.
one
I
of the
totally
ones-
forgot about that game.
Yeah,
That's
so
actually
good.
one of my like sleeper games. Like one I kicked randomly just on a whim. I was like, I don't know if this game's gonna be any good, and we got it, and we were like, this game's fantastic. And I'm kind of bummed now it's not in my top 6. I'm a little ashamed.
6.5.
Yeah, perfect. It'll be like 6.25 because I also forgot about Zombie Dice. I saw someone make that comment, and that was probably one of the first games we owned. So that's 6 point. So there's honorable mention.
Solid game also.
There we go. Yep. So what you got at number 4, Danny?
Number 4, Cubitos. So I fell real.
Hey, can I ride your coattails into this one? Because
are we both number 4 Cubitos together?
Yeah, that's my number 4 also. So I'll hold it up while you talk about it.
Perfect. So I knew nothing about this game before playing it, other than that there is cheese on the cover. I knew nothing, and we got it at, it was either PAX Unplugged or Gen Con. I think it was PAX Unplugged. And boy, did I fall real hard for this game. And it is just pure random chaotic energy, and that is all I want from this game. I went in with no expectations, and I left like fully hype on it. I think we played like 3 games in one night, and I was like, I want more. So yeah, solid number 4 on the list.
Nice. This is also my number 4. So Cubitos is one that I ended up getting. I wanted it, and when I was at Southern Fried Gaming Expo in Atlanta this summer, I found a copy of it at the flea market, and I was like, I need to try it. It's only $15 in the flea market. If I'm ever going to get it, I'm going to get it right this second. And I was so glad I did. Every time I play this game, I want to play it again. But then, like, somebody will be like, "Oh, it's like 9:30," and I'm like, "No, we can do it again, please,
So what?
please."
So what?
So, yeah. So what? We can stay up till 1. I don't care. So
I also just realized, looking at that box and seeing John D. Clare's name, I
Yeah.
also forgot another game that should be on my D6 list.
Are you talking Space Base?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little ashamed of myself. I need.
Space Base.
know
is
what?
real good.
I'm just gonna take myself out back now.
This
I
should have
just
been
added,
a D20 list. So
Yeah, I needed way more space on my list for
Yeah,
space base.
Just added another game to my wish list, thanks to you guys.
Oh,
You know,
there
You're
we go.
welcome.
Nice.
I just
And
every week there's another game
yeah,
that goes on this
is Marrakesh
list.
on there because of a previous talk that we had?
So Bob
Probably.
and Derek made me play Marrakesh a couple nights
Oh, yeah.
ago. They're like, just
Yeah.
play it. I'm like, it's 3 a.m. I want to go to bed. They're like, no, one more. And so we
Yeah.
played it, and I was like, gosh, dang it, Brian was right. This is a really good game.
Yeah.
So I have to get it with the little
we bought a
rugs.
physical
I have to
copy.
get it.
Yeah, little rugs. We bought a physical copy this summer because we played it on BGA so much. Aaron was like, I'd like to own that. And I was like, let's get it. So
Have you played it, Danny? Are you familiar with it?
No, but I'm just agreeing with the fact that the internet is the worst influence on my bank
yes,
account constantly.
absolutely.
I'm like, oh, that game's fun. Or BGA. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't tell you like how many times I've played a
Messes you
game
up
in there.
so
I'm like,
bad.
well, that's coming home with me.
My
Thanks.
number one in this list is because of BGA. So
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what it is.
Hank, before we go to your number 4, Hank throws his in here. Number 6 is Risk. Number 5, Formula D. Fantastic game. Look up
so
Danny's.
Yep.
Yeah, Danny just did a Twitter video about it.
Mhm.
Dice Masters, number 3, King of Tokyo, 2, Camel Up, and 1, Sagrada.
So I
Camel
think
Up,
my
too.
my number 4 has some similarity to Dice Master, but I feel a little more comfortable playing this, which is Dice Throne. I love Dice Throne. You're just talking about it, Danny, with your husband playing it. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's a nice, quick game. I'm super excited for the Marvel stuff because I'm a big Marvel geek. And but the first season is still my favorite. Still some great characters in here. That is my number 4.
All right. Getting into the number 3, Danny. Number 3 dice game for you.
Number 3 is gonna be Role Player.
Solid.
And so I had a really hard time with 3 and 2.
Okay.
So we'll get to 2. But 3, I like the description of everything you want in an RPG. Like the best part of making or doing an RPG is making your character. And
Mhm.
I would have to agree with that. And just, I'm a big fan of moving like bips and bops and boops around.
Mhm.
And like that game ticks all of the boxes that my number 2 does with like the extra added fantasy theme for
Yeah.
me. So I had a hard time with number 2 and 3, but 3 is Role Player.
That's awesome.
I love Role Player. I remember Andrew Smith, actually. That was a game that he wanted for a long time. Andrew's got that, and I guess he has the Monsters and Minions. We actually picked up one of the playmat. We picked up the playmat for it at Origins this year. So I have not played it with the playmat yet. I need to get on that and change that.
That's so good looking.
Yeah.
Matt has an important question there. I don't know if you saw it. Matt, how's it going, sir?
Yeah, which one? The 37th?
There's 7th.
Yeah, what is your 37th favorite game?
What is your
Thanks, Matt, for
37th
participating.
favorite
Yeah.
game ever?
Yeah.
If I were to take like a shot in the dark,
Yeah.
37. I'm just gonna look to my left. Clank,
Oh, that's a good pick. I like it.
Yeah.
middle of the road.
I'm
I would go
I'm gonna-
Funfair.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is.
Funfair's solid card game.
Funfair is real good.
I think
So,
I would go with
We'll add it to my list of games to look up and probably buy. Thanks.
I think I'd go with Crusaders, actually, for me.
Okay. That's
So,
getting
enjoy
it's getting a re-release, right?
It is. It's getting the hidden expansion that
Mm.
TMG had and just sat on, and
Yep.
Renegade's picking it up and putting it out. So
Nice. That'll
excited
be
for
good.
that one.
So, and I guess good pick for 37. So Matt agrees with all 37 picks
Nice.
of ours. So that's good. So,
Great success.
What number are we
Yeah.
actually on?
so we're on number 3. My number 3, let me see what I've got here. My number 3 is Dice Miner. So
Nice.
overlap with Danny's number 6. Dice Miner, I've only played it on BGA, but I really, really like Dice Miner. In fact, it was funny because I've been playing with Bob online and just having a good time. And my son walks in one day and he's like, "What are you guys playing?" I was like, "Dice Miner. You want to see it?" And so I showed him how to play, and he was like, "I want to play." And so he started jumping in. He jumped on my wife's. No, we're playing on Sovereignty. That's what it is.
Mhm.
And so we've been playing on Sovereignty like a couple nights in a row during the course of the weekend. It's so much fun. It's such a good time. And Josiah jumped in and he did a great job playing, and now Bob went on eBay and he has a physical copy now.
Of course he does.
Did you have to sell one of your children to get it?
Yeah.
Is that the price?
I've been
He
you
sold a chunk of his apartment. He was like, "You can have this. I just need
can
dice
rent
for
this
it."
2x2 foot square.
Yeah.
I've been looking on eBay for the deluxe edition. It's not cheap for the deluxe edition of that game.
Oh, with like the plastic mountain.
Yeah, I'm just tempted to just
There's more of 'em.
3D print one at this point. But yeah, that's
I
a
don't
solid
know.
choice.
How do you play it without the little mountain?
It's a cardboard one in the regular edition.
That would make me so angry.
It's not too bad. It's a pretty hardy
It's heavy cardboard.
cardboard mountain.
Is it angled? Is it?
I have
Oh, yeah.
I have no qualms with the version I have. I'm just happy
Okay.
I have a version.
Yeah. Okay. I've been calmed. It's fine.
I was
Honestly.
irate and I am good.
I was angry. Now I'm okay. So
Perfect. My number 3 is a dice placement game from the same family of gamers as all of the good Teo games, and that's Origins First Builders. Got into this about a month ago, right, for review. And there are some games that we review and we play once, twice, 3 times, and they go in a pile. And there's some games that we review and I say, can we please play this again? This has hit the please play it again pile. Ryan, you played this, right?
I have not. No, I've
You have
actually
not.
played Founders.
You played Founders, that's right.
I love Founders.
It's dice placement. It's, the dice are rolling up, they're evolving, they're doing some of the same things that Teo does, but in a little more unique ways. And I really enjoy there's still mitigation of the dice placement. There's still a little bit of dice rolling to change them up too. It's super solid, really thinky, but not it doesn't overstay its welcome for its heaviness.
Yeah, that's good.
That sounds completely at my speed, and I wrote it down.
Yeah, it's
That's
solid.
awesome.
Add into your list.
Matt said, anyone mentioned Dice Forge? Yes. Andrew Smith of Family Gamers.
Yep.
That was his number 6. So, yep. Scotty Flake coming in. Loves Star Wars Destiny. Thankful some fans kept it alive since FFG decided to drop it. I liked that game.
I did too. I played the heck out of it when it came out.
It was good.
Yeah.
I remember the Christmas that my son was so hype on it. He got multiple boosters in his stocking that
packs.
year.
Yep.
And he loved busting those things open on Christmas Day. It was so
It's
good.
always exciting.
It really is.
That CCG crack.
Yep, that's right.
Keeps you coming back.
Number 2, Danny, what you got?
Number 2, Sagrada. This is actually in like my top 5 of all time. I just like the theme it's good, but it's not like what's driving me to it. It's just the thinky, puzzly, but then it's always random because it's dice. It always keeps me coming back for more. And that's a game I will never say no to playing. It's on the table.
Yeah.
Pretty sure my family is like sick of me saying I want to play that game. It's colorful, it's fun, it makes your brain work. It just checks all the boxes for me.
That's one that if my eye passes like the edge of the box, it's behind something right now on our shelf. But if it passes the edge of the box, I'm like, oh, want to play Sagrada? So, yeah.
Mine used to be right here. It used to be represented behind me.
They took it away from you because you keep asking to play it.
Yeah, he probably hit it.
There
For
you
me.
go.
They hit it. It's like, no more. We can't do this. So,
All done with that game.
my number 2 is Strike. This game goes with us everywhere. We went out and ate ice cream cones at a local ice cream place that had like free cones that day. We brought Strike with us. We went to a friend's house. We brought Strike with us. We went to a barbecue. We brought Strike with us. Strike just goes everywhere because you can play like 20 games in an hour. It's really fun, easy to teach.
So good.
We played it a bunch during Christmas. Taught all the family members how to play. My parents bought a copy after we played at their house last New Year's Eve. It's just such a good game. So there, people in the retirement community are now playing it. So it's great.
Free ice cream and Strike. That's ridiculous.
I know. It was the best day ever. It was the best Saturday we've ever had. So
Danny,
I
have you
really
played
feel like-
that one?
No, I need to apparently because every time
Open it.
I
Open it up. Show her what it is. It's a very simple
I
thing.
feel like I
Do you know what
forget
a
the
bowl
game
looks like?
exists.
Do you know what dice look like?
That's all it is.
Dice in a bowl. So,
I'm saying, like, the game seems, you look at it and you're like, this is the
What the
game.
hell
Like,
is
it's
this?
just a bowl with some
Yeah.
dice.
yeah.
And every time I see it, I go, yeah, I'll pick that up sometime. And then I forget it exists. And I hear someone talk about it. And I'm like, let me
It's
just put it on the
such
damn
a-
list and get it. It can't
There we go.
possibly can't cost very
You want
much.
to see how to play? Like that.
Is it a 30-second
That's
tutorial?
it.
Wow.
That's
That's
it.
Touch it.
I'm already an expert. How'd you know?
There we go. Yeah.
We had that.
So
We
good.
had a couple copies that going at that PAX game night, the charity board game or game night. There was 2 dueling copies of that and 20-person green team going at the same time, and
Oh, it's so
Jeez.
some good party games. Some
Oh,
good
no.
games.
Missed opportunity on my end.
Anitra said Andrew just told me about Strike yesterday.
Anitra,
Oh,
come on.
man. They were at our house. They flew down to Georgia, and like I should have taken this one out. Oh, man.
What is this hospitality? There was no strike.
know.
How dare you?
I
No
know.
Southern
You're gonna have to
hospitality.
come back down to Georgia. So
How dare you? Number 2 for me
Yep, number
is we mentioned it in your feats of amazement there, Ryan, and this is the dark edition of King of Tokyo.
There we go.
It's so good, right? Like it's simple, it's fun, it's a classic. We've been playing King of Tokyo for years and years and years since our
Yeah.
kids were little. We have all the characters that I've sought after at conventions to trade for and
Yeah.
get. The dark edition's fun. I love the art on it. This is how I know I'm purely a collector. I don't even know that I've played this one. I think I've just played the regular one, but
That one
but
is
it's-
sexy though.
it is. It's a good looking
Worth
game.
collecting.
And it was a limited print run, and so I was like, oh, I got to get one of these because I know they're not gonna go back to this well. But it's such a classic Yahtzee themed game, like we talked about at the beginning, right? That does everything right. And I don't want King of New York. King of New York's fine. It does its own thing,
Yeah.
but I want to play
Yeah.
King of Tokyo every single time.
I have my opinions.
I
on
remember
King
some
of York.
friends of ours buying King of New York and
Same.
being so excited about it. They brought it over, and I was like, "That's fine. You can
Yeah.
pack it up now. We're good."
Yeah,
So,
it's
You know what?
it's a game.
That was probably one of the only games. Like, and I don't get very disappointed in the games. I'm usually one that's like, yeah, that's a cool game. I'll play it again. Sure.
Yeah.
I think that was one that I was like, we can trade this in. We can definitely
There
trade
you
this one in. This
Yeah.
one can go. It's okay. We
Yeah.
got King of Tokyo. We're good.
put it by
Don't need-
put it by the
don't need
door.
both.
We'll
Yeah. Just put it top of the stack over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody will take
yeah.
it.
Glenn's got his let's see, Champions of Midgar, Elder Sign,
Mm.
Camel Up, Run, Fight or Die, Seasons, and My Farm Shop.
Camel
I think
Cup.
My Farm Shop
Solid.
is whatever. My Farm
I've heard of
Shop is
half
the
of
one
those.
that has the super cute front cover. I really love the design of it.
I don't even know what that is. Gosh dang
It's
it. I
real.
gotta look it up.
It looks. Don't look it up. You're gonna put it on your list. So
Oh, I've seen that one. It's already on my
Yeah.
list.
okay, it looks super cool. It's,
It looks like a pay-as-you-go app-based game.
yeah, absolutely. So farm town,
Perfect.
farm
Sign me
girl,
up.
farmland, whatever. Danny, number one, what you got?
Number 1.
Oh, I'm excited to talk about this one because this is actually my favorite game of all time too.
Oh,
So Too Many Bones is my number one spot.
Mm.
It I just recently did a video on like why this game hits for me. So it's a cooperative game which I have in my maturing board game career have come to love because I used to be super competitive too, but you know, now I'm all for the cooperative games. Asymmetrical.
You need to tell my
so-
wife how to. You need to tell my wife how to play a cooperative board game because she won't play it because she wants to go.
It's taken me a bit. It was a
Okay.
long time to get there, but this game tickles the fancy because even though it's cooperative, like you still have a lot of agency over your own turns.
Mhm.
It's asymmetrical. Your decisions, like you make the decisions. There's really no room for an alpha player, which is fantastic. And I think that's why I always had a hard time with cooperative games because there would always be someone kind of leading the charge. And sometimes some games like we need that, you know, like herd the cats. But when it comes time to like sit down and play a game like that, I don't always want that. So Too Many Bones gives me, you know, the feeling of still kind of being competitive and making my own decisions, but working together so we don't hate each other at the end of the game. It's an RPG. It has a fantastic theme to it, and it just feels good. But when it comes to like the dice rolls, like no roll feels bad. There's always something to do with the dice. The name Too Many Bones, like if you roll a crummy roll, it's bones, and it goes into this thing called a backup plan. And I feel like I could talk forever about this game, so I apologize.
That's good.
So it goes into your backup plan. So no roll goes unused, and you build your dice pool as you go. So just everything about it. It is the blend of cooperative, still with being able to make your own decisions. It's this. Let's just do this. So good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
Have you played it, Ryan?
I have not actually. We sat down. We actually went to the Too Many Bones. We hung out with them for a little bit in the booth at Origins, and really liked what we saw. It's another one of those that I feel like I would really, really enjoy it, and I would own it, and I would have like nobody to play with. So I feel like I would struggle in that area. It's the same reason why Bob owns Arc Nova now, and we don't own Arc Nova now, because he's just going to bring it over. That's how that works.
So, I love Bob.
Yeah.
Too Many Bones definitely is like a lifestyle game. It's not something you just play once and put away. It's the same with really any of Chip Theory games. Like you don't just play one and say cool and then put it away. Like once you buy it, you're invested. And it's an investment to learn it. It's an investment to like figure it out. And it's an investment just to play it, like to get it on the table. So you really have to be in it. And I'm just grateful that it's something that I liked, and my husband probably might even like it more than me. And he also plays a ton of Cloudspire. So for us, like that is our shtick. That is our thing. Nice. So it is all in on that game. And with that price point too, you kind of can't just like dabble in it. You're like, you gotta go for it.
Yeah,
we summoned
Too Many Bones looks amazing. So
we summoned a Heather Schwartz talking about Too Many Bones.
Heather Schwartz is here. So she said she'll watch the replay. So so Rallyman GT, this is a dice rolling racing game. I love Formula D. We had a Formula D league. Formula D is probably one of my most played games. I've played it over 120 times because we had a league in our workplace that I started, and people just kept joining. We kept having seasons. Prior to the pandemic, Bob is actually the trophy holder because he won the last league championship. But the game is amazing. Rallyman does something different. Your die rolls are die rolls. It's the placement of dice. It's which dice you're going to roll, which gear you're going to go into, how you're going to slow down around a turn. And I really love the pressure luck of Rallyman GT. This doesn't take Formula D's place, but this is probably my favorite of the two when it comes to just dice rolls, because there's so many decisions that go into what you're doing with the dice each and every turn. So
love it. I played it a few times. I enjoyed it.
It's really good. It was one that at the beginning of the pandemic, played it on BGA, learned it there. We went on vacation, and we went into a shop that was very small, and I saw it on the shelf, and I immediately had to have it. I was like, I don't care if I ever get to play it, I'm going to own this. So
I need to get that game.
It's so good. So
needs to be part of my F1 series that I'm doing.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if she's tried Rallyman GT. So
I have, but I don't own a physical copy of it. Same with Downforce. I don't have either one, and I need to acquire them.
I love Downforce so much.
If you need some Downforce, so good. If you need some video for your TikTok, let me know. I'll shoot some video over to you.
I'm coming right to you.
Perfect.
What's your number one?
My number one was Danny's number two, and that's Sagrada, which I found your copy. I pulled it off of that shelf and pulled it straight up. I love it. This was one that my buddy Randy and on our team kickstarted when it was that like random Kickstarter that nobody was kickstarting, right? He loved how it looked. He loved the dice. And I remember he introduced it to us, and I was like, why did I miss this game? Like, I need this game. And of course, this game now is a staple at conventions, right? Yeah. You see it everywhere. You see the signs, you see the art, you see the design. I'm pretty sure I have every promo board now. It's so much fun, right?
Mhm.
And it's got tons of expansions, some of which are great, some of which are I don't need it to play with them, but
Mhm.
the base game is just fine.
Yeah.
And the app version of Sagrada is amazing. It's seamless. It plays really well. So much that it's like the one thing my 18-year-old daughter will play like over and
Nice.
over and over. And she
Aw.
whoops us at this game. Like it's not even funny how
Yeah,
good
yeah.
she is. She'll ask me, and if I say, "Do you want to play games?" She's like, "Yeah, Dad, you want to play this?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to play." She's like, "Well, if you want to play a game with me, we gotta play Sagrada." I'm like,
That's it. That's the only choice you got.
"We'll play
Her and I would be
Sagrada."
BFFs.
Oh,
I'll just
that's
take the
awesome.
beating and I
There
can
we
play a
go.
game with you. It's fine.
That's
But
good.
yeah, I love it.
So,
Love it, love it, love it.
that's awesome. Cool. So we're over an hour now. We're going to close it down in just a second, but let's hear one thing that you're playing right now. So, Danny, what you got?
One thing, I feel like I'm in between games right now. I feel like I'm in a stasis of like playing but not playing anything. But we're actually amidst the Aeon Zen Legacy.
Okay.
We're big fans of Aeon Zen, and we started playing the Legacy game, and it's been a ton of fun. But the one hotness right now, this is a BGA pickup, is Welcome to. We played a ton of it online, and then I told my husband about it, and he's like, "What is this madness?" And we played it at a brewery for a few weeks ago, and that's been it. That's
good.
all we've been playing. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
That's
So
good. Yeah. Welcome to is one of my favorite flipping rights. So, if you follow our channel,
What?
Unmatched, it's a thing. It's a thing that we
No way.
the pandemic shoved us into finding out that we love this game a lot, and apparently people show up at our channel all the time just for this. So this is the brand new Redemption Row that came out. You can order it on Restoration's website. We got our copy at the middle of last week, and we played our first live stream. Our first Friday night fight was this past Friday. It was a lot of fun. Aaron destroyed me. Luke Cage against Ghost Rider. I played Ghost Rider 3 times, Luke Cage once. It's a great game. My review of the game goes up tomorrow at oneboardfamily.com. So
Very awesome.
really enjoying it.
I gotta reach for mine because I ran out of table space. Game Right Games. Dana's talking about how awesome they are. I love their games. Love everything they do. Recently bought Go Nuts for Donuts, but I wanted to specifically mention this one is Happy City.
Happy City.
And the reason why I mention it is it's a fun game, but also right now, if you go on any of their social media stuff, you can buy a special edition. They asked the Ukraine version asked to remove the Kremlin and replace it with the Golden City of Kyiv. And so you can buy that card. It'll help support Ukraine, and you can add to your collection and add that Golden City in. I love it. I love seeing things that have meaning and weight, right, in the hobbies that we love. And Happy City is just a fun game. And and when we're finishing here, I'm going to go spend $5 and support Game Ray, an awesome company, and support that Ukraine movement as well.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Yeah. Happy City is really fun. I've only played it online, sadly. I've only played it on BGA, but we will definitely play that in person at some point. So
good stuff.
So before you all leave us tonight on the game chat, be sure to check out Danny. Danny, where can everybody find you?
You can find me TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the internet in general, at Danny_Standring. And I made the executive decision last October to change all of my social media tags to my name, because I realized it was starting to get really awkward when I was like, oh, you can find me here at TikTok, and then all these other names, but just one place now, Danny Standring.
There we go.
Keep it simple.
You can find us at One Board Family all over the internet. Jump on our YouTube channel that continues to grow, mostly because of Unmatched. But we do other stuff. We're not just the Unmatched website. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all those places, and head over to oneboardfamily.com. Currently, I listed 5 games that we are excited to play as we get into spring. So if you're into springtime gaming, check us out, oneboardfamily.com.
Awesome. And we're over at Game of Sidekicks on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, maybe. I don't know. Do we have anything?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, that makes
Find,
sense.
find us over on TikTok. I dabble in that. I enjoy it. And we've got some recent reviews up for the new Libertalia game for Dice Miner.
Yeah.
Putting one up for Origins here this week. So just some fun content, right? Go join us in what we're doing. We're just having a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So another Andrew mentioned $5 promo card for the Ukraine that Grand Gamers Guild just published for Endangered.
Nice.
So you can check
Awesome.
that if you want to help. And then Glenn says that he's going to buy Cubitos. So good night from Norway.
I'm glad I had that influence there.
yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. So that'll do it for the game chat. Danny, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on and talking about dice
Thanks for
games.
having me.
This is a blast. So that'll do it. We will see you. Actually, you're going to be on vacation for a minute. So
yeah,
we'll
2
be
weeks.
back in 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So until then, we'll see you later.
See you, everybody.